and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and this one is kind of fun because I decided that I wanted to make a camping trailer. And what I used for inspiration was something called an Airstream. That's like what popped in my brain. It kind of reminds me of like a retro camper, and I'll put a picture of it on the screen so you know what I'm talking about and like what we're going for here and why I'm doing so many weird things with the roof trying to get a really particular shape for it. And again, that's because that like specific type of trailer has a really rounded roof and honestly has really rounded sides as well. And then the best I could really do in that case was just the very ends of it. And since you can't actually like curve the walls in The Sims 4, but you can see I did actually cut out a lot of like the struggle I had trying to get the trailer to be exactly where I wanted it. So you can see that like the wheels are a little bit in the ground, and that's because I really wanted it to be almost perfect with the trailer. So if you actually look underneath it, it looks like it literally is on it, if that makes sense. I have used this like trailer piece before and I had a lot of issues like without doing it where like I had like a basement and like raising up the trailer and all of that kind of good stuff. So anyways, I did all that here, so it should look basically perfect except for those tires. But you know what? We're just gonna look past it. And I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of trouble with, I don't know, like the identity of this lot, like the, that sounds really weird. I didn't know exactly what I wanted on the lot. Really, all I knew was I wanted to create this trailer, and we did it in Granite Falls, and I can't remember if I already mentioned that, but we are there, and I figured it'd be really cute as like a rental lot, and of course you can download it and use it like as your actual home if you wanted to, but I thought it, like I said, be kind of a fun rental lot. I kind of was inspired because, I mean, this was like years ago now, but I was looking at like campsite kind of things, and there's something called glamping, which I discovered for those people who really aren't outdoorsy people and aren't really camping people, but like the idea of maybe being out, you know, in the wilderness, which is basically that's me. You know, like I want all the amenities without having like to actually camp, which I mean, is it even camping anymore? Anyways, that's not what we're here to discuss today, but we are here to discuss this trailer. And I saw that like they had some refurbished retro like Airstreams, and I thought those were so cute, and that's kind of like what made me think of doing something like this. And I figured the idea maybe is that the truck kind of pulled in from the right to the left of the lot, and like they just kind of parked it right there. And I feel like a lot of those like trailers have a like awning that you can like pop out, so that's why I put the awning on there. And I figured they unloaded all of that stuff, and they're just like, they have all of their living stuff out there. And I will say we end up adding in a bathroom like outside of the actual like build, if you want to call it that, in the trailer, because I figured I kind of liked that like public restroom outhouse kind of thing that you can see that I've already placed on the lot. And since that actually was from Granite Falls, I figured that made a lot of sense here. And I got that actually out of debug, and it is functional. So your Sims can actually go to the bathroom and shower in that. So that's also a really good like cheat if you're trying to do a cheaper home, is actually just using that instead of a bathroom. Because then really you don't need one except for maybe a sink, which is a whole lot cheaper than like a full entire bathroom. And I thought maybe it'd be nice to think that maybe this lot is, I did not put it as off the grid, like you can swap it to that if you'd like to, but I like the idea of having like the solar panel-y roof. And in case you didn't know, like you can actually make the roof texture like solar panel shingles, which is what I did here. And then I do end up adding a roof like, oh my goodness, what am I trying to say? The windmill. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You'll see it later. Is it a windmill? Is that what it's called? I don't know why I'm blanking so hard with vocabulary today, but we add one to the roof because I figured that would be kind of nice. And I actually add one to the lot itself, and I add like a dew collector. So to maybe offset like some of the water consumption. Oh my goodness, I can't talk either. I can't think of words and I can't talk. But honestly, since there's not a bathroom in the actual like trailer, really it's just offsetting the like sink that I have in the kitchen. So I do have a kitchen in the trailer, a living space, and actually a really spacious bedroom. And I end up loving the way it looks. I did struggle also with how I want to decorate the inside, which is why I actually started this like a week ago, but I didn't finish it until today because I just didn't know what I wanted to do to the inside, because I really wanted it to be like, I guess, really cool. Do you know what I mean? And I was worried it wasn't going to live up to my expectations, but I think it turned out really awesome. And I did try to add like a bunch of stuff for your Sims to do while they're here. So I thought like a little campsite was really cute, like for the kids, like if you do bring a kid with you, or if you have one on the lot. There's also a swing set. We have the horseshoes. We have Don't Wake the Llama. We add in a chess table, and we also have some gardening. We have the fire pit here as well. We add a telescope. Like there's a bunch for your Sims to do here, and I thought like, you know, maybe if they're going on vacation, that'd be really nice. Or maybe they really do just want to live off the grid and like, that's just like, that's what they do. You know what I mean? So I really just tried to like pack this lot full of stuff. And honestly, I probably would have done this on a like 20 by 15, but Granite Falls does not have one. So we did it on a 30 by 20. So I guess the game kind of decided for me the size of build I was going to do. And so at the time, I wasn't sure whether or not that like outhouse thing had the ability to take showers, but I did play test it, so you can shower in there. So I did take the shower that I placed out there away in the final version. And I also I do actually end up adding a jet ski to the back of the truck. Why? I don't know. I just thought it was kind of fun. Like maybe they brought that with them to go out on the lake, like that kind of thing. And there is a fishing like lake spot right next to this lot. And we're on the Honeydew Fields lot. If you, if you are actually familiar with Granite Falls, which honestly, I just don't like build there very often. But I just thought it was really scenic and would be really nice for this. And just like I said, trying to pack as much as I could in here for your Sims to do and just really making it look like a fun place. And I also added in the cottage living, like the two little tree stump things, like the one that like attracts birds and the other one that has like bunnies. So you'd have like bunnies and birds on the lot. And I just thought it would be really cute and outdoorsy. And I just really like the idea of that. And so, like I said, adding in a few planter boxes, and I did add the sign back there as well. You may have seen me add. It's from the Snowy Escape pack, but it looks like a hiking trail on it, like a map, and I thought that was really nice and like a good touch to have maybe on a vacation lot if you're going to go out to the woods, like maybe you want to do some hiking. And I do also add in some laundry here as well. Now, the interesting part, and I don't know why this was happening, when I was play testing it, like my sim wasn't creating laundry. Like I put laundry baskets in there. Actually I do that after I think I finished filming, because I realized that I didn't put a hamper in here, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna do laundry, you're gonna need a hamper. But for some reason, I don't know, like I had her change clothes several times, but she didn't actually generate laundry. So I don't know if that was like my game being really weird, but so I wasn't actually able to play test the wash bucket and the oh my goodness, the clothesline out here. So just a warning. But the only thing I was really worried about is maybe that the clothesline's a little bit too close to the bushes right there. So you may have to pull it out a little bit if it's going to want to work for your game. Like I said, I have no clue what was going on with it, but you know, it is what it is. So I did my best. I tried, but I feel like the game has been like randomly weird lately. I was actually playing over on Twitch doing my Big Sister challenge, and that was, I guess, yesterday, and it randomly did the thing where it just like, I was on that infinite loading screen. It was awful. Thankfully I had just like saved so I could, you know, quit the game and then go back in and not really lose anything. But anyways, like again, that has nothing to do with this build, but I don't know, my game has been kind of weird lately. So I don't know if anybody else has been like experiencing some issues. But back to the actual build. This is the bedroom area. And I don't know, I was looking up pictures of these like trailers, and honestly, they're so nice. Like you can look them up yourself if you want to kind of see what some of the interiors look like, but some of them looked like really nice, like granite, like wood, like paneling everywhere, like these big like built-in like couches kind of thing. So that's what I ended up kind of channeling for this. So we have the bedroom, and I did play test this, so I did have to scoot the couches around just a little bit that are behind the bed, but your Sims can still sleep here on the bed, so you don't need to worry about that. It should work. It worked in my game, so I'm hoping when you download it off the gallery that it works for you. And on that note, it is up on the Sims 4 gallery if you want to download it under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And let me know if you plan on using it. Like, are you going to use it as a rental lot? If you're going to use it as a home? And I honestly, like, the wood paneling, I thought looked so nice in here. And then adding in, to me, they looked like theater, like fancy retro theater lights, like on the wall. But I think technically they're like Art Deco that came with the high school years pack, but I thought it looked so pretty in there. And then I ended up adding in here some bookcases, and of course I sized them down, which means nothing clipped to them properly. So so I had to use my trusty red shelf to actually add clutter. I thought about just not adding clutter, but you know what? That's just not me. I needed clutter. So we do end up getting that out. And if you haven't seen that before, it is just like a shelf that you can download. It is technically CC, but it doesn't change the build. The build does not have CC since I delete it back out before it gets uploaded to the gallery. It basically just helps you choose an exact height to put things. And it just makes things like easier to clutter. And so like in this case, like I usually don't bring it out unless I really need to, but since I had so much to clutter at a bunch of different levels, I just thought it would make my life a whole lot easier. But anyways, I just thought I wanted to point that out, but there's no CC in the build, so you shouldn't have any issues. And like nothing should be missing, all that kind of good stuff. But I end up actually adding in here the hampers for the laundry in here by the window in the bedroom. So that's where those are going to end up. And we end up putting in, again, I basically use those couches again and put in a living space on the other end in that rounded area. And then this is actually a pretty big kitchen, like considering the size of this home. And I actually didn't check because it was like put in as like a rental, but I would think that this is considered a tiny home since there's like, you know, it's pretty small unless the game is counting some weird tiles somewhere. So that is something else you could do if you put it in the game and try to actually like log it as a tiny home. You could get some benefits from that as well. And I loved these chairs for the bar area, but I noticed that the legs were this weird teal color, which made me so sad. So I do end up swapping them out because I was thinking about leaving them, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. Like it just, I don't know, I couldn't leave them. So we end up swapping those out a little bit later. So just as a warning, don't get too attached to those, although I felt like they looked really good in here. And then, okay, so I also tried to do some fancy things where I like sized down a bed and put it underneath the couch to see if I could get a sim to like sleep there so you could use it as like a sleeping area, since, you know, in these kind of trailers a lot of times you have all these like sneaky places that could be used as like a bed, but I could not get it to work properly, so those are not there in the final version. I tried my best. I think you can do some things where you like raise and lower items and all that kind of stuff, but I ran into issues since this is technically already off the ground. It just caused some issues when I was doing it. So unfortunately I took those out and you can't use that as a bed, but if you would like more area for like your Sims to sleep, you can of course add a bed in here if you would like to, but there is a bed in that tent outside that your Sims can get to as well if you want to like kind of put them out there. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye everybody.
Wish that I could stay, wish for this moment to never go away. But it's all in my mind, and though I know that there is nothing to find, you're a beautiful sight in the sun.